Hi, I'm Carrie, stroke survivor and Bind member.
And I'm Kezia, a stroke survivor and a member of Bind as well. And today we are so excited to welcome the star of Hi, I'm Blake, which is a young brain injury survivor of a TBI, who will be sharing his story, his experience, and the ongoing journey.
Welcome, Blake.
Hi, I'm Blake. Thank you all so much for having me today.
Welcome to Bindwaves, the official podcast of the Brain Injury Network of Dallas. I'm Brian White, Bind's Executive Director. On each episode, we'll be providing insight into the brain injury community. We'll be talking to members and professionals regarding their stories and the important role of Bind's Clubhouse. We work as a team to inspire hope, community, and a sense of purpose to survivors, caregivers, and the public. Thank you for tuning into Bindwaves. Let's get on with the show.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. So currently, I'm a Texas Tech senior. I'll be graduating this year, December 17th, which is in just not even 2 weeks from now. And I'm just so excited. And I currently work at a coffee shop in Waco, which is called Biddy and Bose, which hires people with disabilities. And I just love working there because I give caffeine and smiles to people every day.
Caffeine and smiles, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. And so congratulations on your upcoming graduation.
Thank you
That's
very
exciting.
much.
So I know that you were really young, 14
Yes,
when you had
ma'am.
your injury. And so I know you were in a coma for a while. So there's probably a lot that you don't remember from the beginning.
Correct.
But is there a time that you kind of went, oh, that you realized you're in? Can you say like maybe a year in or like a certain age, you just kind of went, okay, something's not right here.
Right whenever I woke up, I
Okay.
knew that. Yes, ma'am, my right hand and arm, I could not extend my right hand, and my right arm did not extend all the way, and I still cannot extend my hand or my arm. Then I also have my eyes were, what's the right word I'm looking for? Where,
Tracking.
I can only look to right. So if you did your finger in front of my eyes, they would not move. But thanks to God, they were released while in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, thank you so much for sharing those details, honestly.
You're welcome.
And I do think that, I hope that everyone has been watching Hi, I'm Blake. That's available.
I hope so. It's a great show. Everybody watch it.
I mean, there's so much more to learn about you. So I really hope that everyone takes this opportunity to listen to your story. And a lot of it, to me, I think I'm going to be mentioning to your mother as well, that I felt very connected with what your experience was within like the first couple of minutes of the episode and of the documentary of you. For some point, I felt like, was this what it looked like for me on that time? And that to me was scary. So did you have a scary moment at that time during your recovery that you would like to share?
Are you asking me like whenever I was watching the film or whenever I was recovering?
How about both? When you were recovering first, and then about watching the episode, the documentary too.
I'm not really sure. I'm sorry because I'm the happiest person that I know personally. My friend says that I'm the happiest person that he knows.
Yeah.
So I'm just always happy and I don't really get scared. So I'm sorry. I don't think so.
Don't
I know that's
apologize.
strange.
Yeah,
No,
don't apologize. I think that's great. I think that's
wish
great
we
to
could
hear.
all have been that way in our recoveries. Has never been scared and just be happy because not only did I get scared, I got a little angry. So
I can't blame you. Yes, ma'am. I'm blessed that I really don't ever get angry. Just maybe whenever playing games, but
Right.
that's it.
so
you
you're a
wanna
little
win.
competitive.
Yeah, exactly. Call of Duty and such. Yeah, if you get what I'm saying.
Right. And well, we all know that brain injury recovery is actually lifelong. There's no
Yes,
end to
ma'am.
brain injury recovery. Like
Indeed.
when you have a sprained ankle, a broken arm, eventually you're recovered and your brain that's gone. And I know you mentioned you're about to graduate from college, which is great
Yes,
I
ma'am.
you were 14 when you had it. So where are you in your recovery now other than school? Do you still do any kind of rehab or?
No, ma'am. So I'm done with all rehab at the moment, and I probably finished that about 4 or 5 years ago, before I graduated from high school, I think. And Yes, ma'am. I'm just looking up and looking forward every day.
That's great.
I think that's something great to be doing and calling that recovery. You know, you're working on it every day to look forward to your next goals, your next abilities,
Yes, ma'am.
everything else. So I think that's great.
I like how you put that.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
One thing that really interested me in the documentary and learning about you actually was how you were so gymnastic and like your sports and like your inspiration through what you were doing at that age. So some of our members that were watching the documentary, we all watched it together to learn about you. What is your relationship with with gymnastics now?
Gymnastics,
sorry.
I do nothing with gymnastics. I just watch the Olympics and done.
Good. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, because I know that if I just try to do a handstand, I will fall.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
a cartwheel. I've already broken 4 bones. I don't need no bone broken, so yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. I think that's smart, but it's also
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
still a fan watching it on the
Yes,
TV.
ma'am.
I think that's all I would do. Really, it's scary.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
hard. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that much.
I bet. So we were talking about you're about to graduate. What are you majoring in at Tech?
Well, I'm so happy you asked, ma'am. My degree is in communication studies with a minor in human development and family studies.
Okay.
Ma'am.
And for someone that's not quite sure what that means, can you break it down for the brain injured that's a little silly? And so what are you going to do with that?
Not really. No. To be honest, I'm not that sure. I either want to become a child life specialist in a hospital because I want to help those that are trying to recover from their injuries or with whatever they're sick in, or become a public speaker. Or those are my top 2 routes right now.
Well,
But-
you kind of already are a public speaker, so
Yes,
you're on your
ma'am.
way there.
I actually had my first paid public speaking event this year.
Oh, wow. Yay for you.
Yeah.
Where
Yes,
was
ma'am.
it?
It was at Pate Rehabilitation Centers. I believe. Forgive me, Mom, if I'm wrong. But yeah, and and then I'm talking in front of the Brain Injury Association sometime next year, I believe.
That's great.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes, ma'am.
And that you're basically being an advocate for others based
Yes,
on your
ma'am.
experience and what you're putting out there in the world. So pretty awesome. And now you're speaking on a podcast.
Yes, ma'am.
So look at how many things to add onto your resume.
Sorry, we can't afford to pay you. Except for Win Smiles.
And jokes.
There you go.
And
I'll
jokes.
leave those up to you.
Hearing about you being in college and going through your university and graduating, that's an amazing accomplishment, not only for everyone
you.
going through that, but also as a brain injury survivor. That's awesome. One thing that I actually learned a lot here at Bind was about accommodations. So with you going through college and your majors, what are some accommodations that you asked for that were given to you to help you succeed?
Yes, ma'am. So I have a friend with name Reese. Shout out to Reese if you're listening to this. I love
Should
you,
be
bro.
listening.
Yeah, should be. Don't know if he ever will. Let's be honest. But so he helps me with all my classes. So I've had great professors that have allowed him to take tests with me, and he has helped me so much. And also extended time. So say time and a half or double time for assignments and tests, because like whenever you're doing tests on the computer, it would be like you have 60 minutes or an hour. So then I'll get an hour and a half rather than just 60 minutes, which is great because with me, it takes me a little bit longer to read the questions and to work out the words out of my head.
Right. Those are great accommodations, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think those would be great.
Yes,
to
ma'am.
have.
And my school has been gracious enough to let me have those.
Awesome. And did you go to like a specific who would you ask that for? Like when applying to colleges, or how would you get those?
My parents did, so I really don't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's
But
fair.
That's good.
You may have to go to like the disability house or that's not the right word. I apologize, but somewhere. I'm honestly not sure. My mom and dad has done all of that for me. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
No,
okay.
don't be sorry. I mean, 'cause, yeah, that's a lot to ask. But So while you were in college, did you? I know you're kind of a shy person,
Not
but
at all.
did you take part in any of the social activities that college provides?
A party here and there, maybe. Yeah, going.
Football games.
Yes, ma'am. Football, basketball games. Going to see the Red Raiders whoop butt, and same with the Highlanders because I got my associate's degree at MCC, McLean Community College, which is in Waco. And so I'm getting my degree from Texas Tech, but I'm doing it through the MCC campus. So I've actually never been to Lubbock.
Oh wow.
But you will go to graduate.
Yes, ma'am. And it's a 5-hour drive. Not looking forward to it.
It's not that bad of a drive.
Longer than 4 hours.
Well, there is that. But,
I just to kick off a little bit on the social life, I think that your positivity and your view on your life and your reactions to it, it's super great to hear because
Thank you.
I think there are other stories, like on behalf of like even me, after having a stroke, my hardest part was being socially active with people I had like all these things that happened, like
Yes,
difficult to
ma'am.
talk or, just having my whole body is different. So
I understand.
I think it's great to hear your positivity
Thank you, ma'am.
for others, which reminds me that all of our followers that listen to us on every Thursday of our podcast, make sure to like and subscribe to us as followers, as friends, everything, and make sure to check in every Thursday to listen to our new episodes. And you can also email us at any time at bindwaves@thebind.org.
so I know I'm kind of like you, Blake. I'm not a shy person. So socializing was the hardest part for me was not being able to socialize.
Yes, ma'am.
Being
And
stuck at home and not being able to get in the car and drive away, or not having friends come get me and take me. So once I was able to get out, became a much happier person. So.
yes, ma'am. And I just gotta say something that I really don't have a filter. So I just speak whatever's on my mind, and sometimes it gets me in trouble.
Yeah,
So,
I noticed that in the podcast. I mean, in the documentary.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Multiple times. I
But-
agree.
I'm kind of glad you brought that up because that is something I think that as a brain injury survivor that is big with all brain injury survivors, that after something gets knocked loose, and a lot of people lose that socialization filter or that filter that lets you know, is it okay for me to say this in this setting or
Yes,
should
ma'am.
I step back? And a lot of times brain injury survivors aren't aware of that and don't know, and so they just say whatever comes out of their mouth. And I tell everyone, what you see is what you get. So
Yes, ma'am. But I sure hope I do not say anything inappropriate on this podcast, or I haven't yet.
you have not yet. You're doing
Yes.
great. You're doing great.
You haven't at all.
Yay.
And I think that's actually listening to you speak this much. Actually, I think it's pretty good because
Thank you.
learning how to match words with what your thoughts are and letting that out. Even it's basically brain training and brain workouts and being able to do that. It just corrects the
Yes,
voice,
ma'am.
and it's a workout.
And it's taken me a while to become this good through a lot of therapy, through great therapists, and through many multiple, or that was weird, through multiple therapy places and therapists. They have helped me out so much,
Yeah.
and in unique ways too.
Yeah, they are unsung heroes, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, right now that you mentioned therapy, like what was your best way or like your favorite way to like practice and get better?
Not speech.
Not speech.
Shh, to the speech therapist listening, she didn't say that.
I did not say that, y'all. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
And I don't know, just incorporating fun with therapy. Instead of just having it be rigorous every single day, have it be fun, like play games while also working on my right arm and such. So my right hand and arm are getting better as I'm doing therapy. So I don't really realize that I'm doing therapy because I'm having fun.
Right. Yeah. It makes,
And lunch.
and
lunch.
lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch seems to always be everyone's favorite part of the day when you're in recovery.
Yes,
I understand
ma'am.
Yeah. I actually went to CNS the same way where you did.
You did?
Yeah. That's where I was at for a pretty long time, I feel. But I actually
Awesome.
liked going. I liked.
Same here.
And
had-
lunch was also my favorite because I actually got to talk to people.
Yes, ma'am.
And the part that I didn't like for me was the education one because I've never been good at math, so that like
I understand.
I was just not.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
would distract people talking about
Yes,
what they
ma'am.
were talking about. So
Yeah, but I can tell you an amazing story. I don't know if we have time for it.
yeah,
Do we?
go ahead.
Okay, so there's a lady, I'm not sure if I can say her name or not, but I am. Her name is Diane, and she was 60 something whenever we met, and she was older than that now, obviously. But,
No, once you hit 60, you stop aging.
oh yeah, is that how it works? I thought it was 40.
Well,
Ma'am.
well, you said 60, so we'll play that way today.
Yes, ma'am. And she kind of talked like a kid because she suffered from a stroke in 2014. So we met at CNS, and she did not talk like I do. How I'm fluid with how y'all talk, and you could tell that she had a stroke. And so we took her to our house one weekend, which she absolutely loved. And that night, my dad made the best meal ever. His steak. And hey,
Delish.
shout out to Dad. Thank you for your steak. I love it. My favorite food. And that night, he prayed over the food that Miss Diane's voice would come back to her.
Yeah.
And so we finished our amazing dinner. That morning, Miss Diane woke up, and our dog Shadow, who was a black lab, came up to her bedside, and she said, "Do you want to go outside, Shadow?" And she's like, "Wait, that was my voice."
Yeah.
She had not heard her voice in over 4 years,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
or 3 or 4 years. And so she's like, "That was my voice."
Yeah.
And so she wanted to go into the kitchen and bang pots and pans because she was just so excited. But luckily she didn't. So she just stayed out on the couch drinking a cup of coffee. My mom, my dad came out of the room and she said, "Hello, Mr. Pat. Do you notice anything different?" And he goes, "Yeah, your voice is beautiful."
Yes.
So that's one of my greatest God stories I have.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
And also, but she could sing beautifully, even with her voice before this God changed it back to normal. She could sing like she had not a problem at all.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that helped me a lot for my voice was actually, I couldn't remember words, but when it was music and I knew lyrics of Beyonce, then I was able to do
Oh yeah,
it. It was-
Beyonce. I can see you listen to Beyonce.
Yeah, you listen to it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not really. I'm more of a country fan, so Zach Brown band, and also Tim McGraw and such, and then also Christian, Mandisa, Newsboys, Mercy Me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Cool.
ma'am.
Well, one thing that you were also talking about right now, mentioning what we learned all through the documentary, you also had mentioned something, and I think you mentioned it earlier too, that you were working on being a hospital chaplain. I might have said it wrong, so sorry about
Chaplain.
that.
No,
Chaplain.
you said it just correctly. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. High five.
You're welcome. We just high-fived, FYI.
So how are you working on, or how's that journey going for you?
So, to be honest, I'm not so sure if I still want to become a hospital chaplain because that requires about 4 or 5 more years of school.
Oh.
And I'm about to graduate from college. So, I'm maybe pursuing different routes right now.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Because I don't want to go to more school. I want to get out there and make money.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand that. So I know in the documentary it mentioned some of that you were active with the North Texas brain injury community. Are you still working with them, or is that more mom and dad?
That's mom and dad. I
Okay.
do not know. I'm sorry,
Oh,
ma'am.
that's okay. I thought that might be the case. So
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, we do hope that you continue doing the advocacy, which you already are.
I will.
Especially being like a public speaker.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, from your experience and everything, that I hope that everyone that's listening to us is going ahead and watching your documentary. Hi, I'm Blake.
Yes, ma'am. Go and watch it. It's amazing.
It's yeah. So I do have a question, and I asked your parents about it.
You asked me many questions, so
Yes.
continue.
So here is your other question.
Okay.
How did you decide to create this documentary, or how How did you accept it?
So it wasn't actually my idea.
Yeah.
So our good friend John Michael Simpson, Jon is how you spell his first name. He went to school with my sister and graduated from high school with her. So they're the same age. And he was at film school at UT, University of Texas. And whenever I suffered from my TBI in 2014, and they were having a film competition about someone overcoming great challenges in their lives. And so they asked my parents, hey, can we do this over Blake? Because we feel like he's the greatest person we could do over. And my parents were like, of course. So they were able to get in the hospital and create about a 2 or 3 minute short film about me. Going through. And then after they were done creating it, they won the competition.
That's great.
And then, so they followed me for about another 4.5 years or 5 years as I was going to live. Different therapy places, different schools, and such. So, yes, ma'am. So, it was not my idea, but I just went along with the ride.
Well, you've had a very fun ride, that's for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, something that we actually really enjoy so far with the time of being here, and I hope that all of our listeners are getting it. You're into jokes. You're really funny.
Ma'am.
You're very outgoing and stuff. Tell us our favorite joke, and maybe Carrie will get it faster than me because I'm not that good with jokes. So tell us your favorite joke. Let's see if we get it.
Have you seen the Constipation movie?
No.
No.
No, really? I guess it hasn't come out yet.
Oh gosh.
Wait, what about the diarrhea movie? Have you seen that one?
No.
No, really? It's still running, though.
Oh my
okay,
God.
Blake, no.
Those are two of my favorites.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I like the one you did the most in the documentary. What do you call a bear with no teeth?
What?
A gummy bear.
Oh,
We wrote some down, so
Yeah.
we keep them.
awesome. Yeah. I actually have a TikTok that I do joke of the day every single day on. I have nearly 20,000 likes on it.
Is your TikTok high on Blake too?
It's actually hi_IM_Blake899.
Okay.
But you can find it easier just by looking up Blake Hyland, HYLEND.
Okay.
And then you can find me there. And I do a joke of the day every single day on it. I have not missed a day in over 280 days.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. And I posted my first video on February 18th of 2022.
Wow.
February 23rd. I'm so sorry. I suffered from a TBI on February 18th, 2014. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Well, that's fine.
So one more question for you. What would you want all brain injury survivors to know from you? Something very important. What would you want to make sure that everyone knows?
That's a difficult question.
Either as advice
Yes,
or...
ma'am. I would say never give up. Always keep pushing. Because if my parents would have given up whenever the doctor said, oh, Blake can go home right now. Whenever I was starting walking, then once I would start walking, they were like, oh, Blake can go home right now. My parents like, no, he cannot even talk that well. So just never give up on yourself and just have people around you that care for you and that can just push through the pain and the hurt that you're going through with you. Because recovery is not easy. And I just want you to know that you can do it. Whatever you may be facing today, our God is greater, and so are you.
That's great advice, Blake. And you're right.
Thank
Recovery
you.
is never over with the brain injury.
I did it.
You did do it. And we are so happy that you joined us today. And we thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
having your parents drive you down from Waco. And we're going to have to
Yes,
remember
ma'am.
to stop into the coffee shop next time I drive through to go to
Yes,
Austin.
ma'am. Yeah, so make sure to come on Mondays between 3 and 6, Fridays between 11 and 3, and Saturdays between 2 and 6. I'll be there.
And what's the name of it again?
Biddy, B-I-T-T-Y, the and sign or ampersand, and Bose. Bose is spelled like B-E-A-U apostrophe S.
Okay. Well, great. Again, thank you for joining us, Blake. And
You're more
thank
than
you
welcome.
to everyone for listening. And again,
Thank y'all for listening.
encourage you to go find the documentary, Hi, I'm Blake.
No, you're not. I'm Blake.
Okay, I knew he would mess me up. Okay, but if you'd like for more information about bindwaves or to contact us or even to learn more about Blake, if you can't find it on your own, which I'm sure you can email us at bindwaves@thebind.org.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also hit the notify if you follow us on YouTube while listening to the Bindwaves. You can also find us at all of your favorite platforms. So until next time.
Until next time.
Until next time.
We hope you've enjoyed listening to Bind Waves and continue to support Bind and our nonprofit mission.
We support brain injury survivors as they reconnect into the life, the community, and their workplace.
And we couldn't do that without great listeners like you. We appreciate each and every one of you. Continue watching. Until next time.
Until next time.